school to be making sure that the premises is safe, no hazards. I know currently we're working on construction over here with our school, so it's really important. We have a security guard who is on staff 24 hours to make sure that the students are being safe, staying away from the construction site. So I think our school is doing a pretty good job. Here's a picture here just of the Maracanã Stadium collapse in Rio de Janeiro in the early 90s. Several people were injured due to overcrowding. It was a championship match, and there were a rail had fallen forward. Real graphic images as well. Products liability. This has to do with the products, the equipment that is used by the sporting teams. Design defects would be considered a product that would be considered to be ineffective. The case of the aluminum baseball bat, the case of Brett versus Hillerich and Bradsby company, the aluminum bat with the ball coming really, really fast off of it was deemed to be unsafe, a design defect. Manufacturing defects are different, where there are flaws that are on a product that is considered to be safe, but in a certain case had defects as well. Marketing defects is when the instructions, the rules, how to put together a certain product, or some of the warning signs were incorrect as well. If breach of warranty can be proved, the liability would fall on the company with the different types of warranties that are written here as well. Defenses against the breach of liability would determine if the product was altered, misused, or not properly installed. So a client could potentially say this was a marketing defect, this helmet was supposed to work in a certain way, and the athlete still had a concussion. If the company could deem that the helmet was not used correctly, not strapped on correctly, no mouthpiece, something like that, it could be a defense against the breach of that liability. Emergency care, really, really important for athletics, especially when we're working with minors at the high school level. Emergency planning, it is so important in the event that there is a head injury, a neck injury, that there is a plan brought in place by the school. 911 is to be called, parents to be called, follow-up from trainers, follow-up from the nurse, contact between the coaches and the parents, guardians as well. Very, very important. The emergency response plan is to be put into play, and even though we can't predict the emergencies, it's really, really important that we have a plan to know who to call when, and what to do in the event of, especially when you have some type of a serious injury. Very important to have that plan put into play. Supervision, responsibility for an area and the activities that are taking place in that area. The different types of supervision, general supervision, where there is a group that is not needed to be supervised, potentially a PE class, something or other. Specific supervision, more of a high-risk activity. If there is a football game or a track and field meet where there could be potential injuries that need to be supervised by coaches and athletic staff very, very closely. And then transitional supervision, combination of both. Kind of getting into something a little bit more serious. So assault and battery, either the threat of bodily harm or an unlawful touching of another person without justification or excuse. The difference between assault and battery would be assault, more of apprehension on the part of